Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Washington Redskins. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thanks, Coach. Well, the sun has gone down and the mercury going down as well. To be expected, I guess, here on an autumn night just outside of D.C. at FedEx Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Washington Redskins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They are led out by the 15th overall selection in 2019, former Ohio State Buckeye Dwayne Haskins.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Now it's the fullback. This is Kyle Juszczyk. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
And there's the pickup you want on first down. All offenses say, you get me 4 on first down, we'll take it. How about if you get 5? They'll really be happy.
From the 27, Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. 3rd down, here's Haskins. Gets this one to Juszczyk. Only a yard on the 3rd down throw, and that leads to a 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. On the return is Pettis. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 46. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about.
Here we go.
Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
On first down, Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll go down at the 28. In last week's game for Kittle, there are the numbers. 6 catches, 86 yards, and a touchdown.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Garoppolo looks to throw. And Sanders has got it complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The offensive lineup now, and the guy we highlight, Emmanuel Sanders.
You can use him in any spot as a wide receiver. In the slot, out wide. It doesn't matter. He just makes plays.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Garoppolo. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. Steps away to his left. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling it up, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3
now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. From the red zone now, Haskins on first down. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Was trying to get it to Darius Geis out of the backfield. That'll bring up 2nd down. And for this offense, yellow highlighter around Trent Williams.
As well there should be. A Pro Bowl, all-pro type of a left tackle. So mobile, you could also see him as a tight end. This guy is a terrific football player.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. 2nd and 10 now. Haskins. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. D Ford in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On is Josh Lambo for the field goal try. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And Lambo will put this one through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have the playoffs.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. 20, 10, touchdown, 49ers. Matt Breida, 76 yards. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. We'll look now at our starting defense. They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
They've established themselves pretty well throughout this season, but boy, what a competitive group of people. They do not like that ranking they have now because they think that they're better, and they're out to prove it again in this game.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Haskins. Open man is Quinn. He completes it. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for third down. On 3rd and 1, it's Haskins. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Quan Alexander able to record his 5th sack of the season.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Niners will take over at the 20. Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lot, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Check, check. Lucky.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, 49ers. Dante Pettis, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch. Take it to the house. Gold with the extra point, and the lead is now 17-3. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's the Redskins in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts. I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. 7 consonants, 1 vowel. Here's Juszczyk trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here comes Pettis on the return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Set to take over again here on offense, Jimmy G and the 49ers. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Off the edge, the sack by Matt Ioannidis.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. After the sack on 1st down, Garoppolo. It's caught by Sanders. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll go as a 1st down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Madison running on 1st down. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
From the 41, Garoppolo looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Well, that's complete to Sanders. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 18 yards, 1st down Niners.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that.
And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Jimmy Garoppolo with his 2nd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Quarterback loves the receivers, but sometimes his best friend is that tight end.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Because we always talk about the guys out wide and how acrobatic they are. But that tight end, great sight lines, easier throws, they become a bigger and bigger weapon as the NFL evolves.
Gold to add the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now the fullback, Juszczyk. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And that's a nice gain by him on first down, picking up some key yardage.
On 2nd down and 4, Haskins. And this one complete to Reed. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now he has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path, a significant number.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. Touchdown, Washington! Trey Quinn, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Josh Lambo now for the point after. And this is up and good. That'll make it a score now of 24-10. So that drive, 4 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
2nd and 5 now. Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Got him in. He finds Sanders. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Garoppolo to throw. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Throwing now is Garoppolo. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was looking that time for Dante Pettis, and it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball.
And that's caught inside the 30. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. The secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Got a man open. It's Ross. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Well, a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. He was trying to get it to George Kittle, his tight end, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just...
That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now Gold for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Haskins. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Final play of the half, it's Haskins. Jordan Reed has it. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, where it was the visiting Ravens who were able to come in and take this one on the road. 35-3, the final score. From there, we're off to check out another game, and they were victorious in that one over the visiting L.A. Rams. Deshaun Watson strong in the victory as it pushes his guys back above the 500 mark on the year. And lastly, we'll wrap up the week with Monday Night Football. Definitely one to tune in for, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Kansas City Chiefs. In the game you're watching, it was Jimmy Garoppolo who was brilliant in that first half. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front, as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well, as we are back and started in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
On first down, here's Breida. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Trent Murphy, the one to bring him down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Looking to throw on second down. Garoppolo, open man is Ross, complete. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. 18 yards, first down Niners. And certainly a valuable tool to have in your kit, Emmanuel Sanders, and he's shown us quite a bit in this one.
And that's why they wanted to use him immediately. You know they come out of the locker room saying, let's get the ball to him, get our offense jump-started, and in this case, it's worked throughout the game. Thus, they have the lead.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On second down, this is Madison. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. Able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
Let's go.
So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Pretty solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman, able to get a hand in. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a run with Geis. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now Haskins to throw it. Haskins hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That's taken on the 25. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There's Dante Pettis as his guys head back out onto the field. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun, because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
38 yards on the scamper there.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you talk about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Garoppolo finding his tight end Kittle, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They get 5, and it will go ahead and move the chains.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. And give credit to Reuben Foster, the linebacker, getting a hand in to disrupt.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to the air on second. It's Garoppolo. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And it's third down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They got to get after him one more time.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A gain of 3, second down.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
I got you. Hey, alert 3.
They'll run it now with Juszczyk. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
Check. Watch 54. Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
And now a carry here for their fullback. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
I'm scared.
Haskins on 3rd down. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here's Tressway now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
Back now at FedEx Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. And able to haul it in is Kittle. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none.
Garoppolo gives to Breida. And he's got some space here. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charlie, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Here we go.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's Breida. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
From the 45 on second down, Garoppolo. The reception good for 7. It's third down. The Niners on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football.
Here we go.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. A good display of footwork. It gets him just inside the 5 to the 4. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
To throw again on second down, Garoppolo.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted.
Hey, box drop.
Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby.
Garoppolo now on 3rd and goal. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. From 4 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. after the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Let's go.
Now a give coming right is Breida. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. 16 yards, a first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
They go play action here on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Garoppolo.
If you're going to take a shot downfield, 2nd and 1 is a perfect time to do it. If you're going to be in heavy run defense, you should have good windows to throw it downfield.
And it looked like there was something there right after the snap, but the defense able to recover. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And give credit to Reuben Foster, the linebacker, getting a hand in to disrupt.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And that's complete to Sanders. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trent Murphy in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Now Garoppolo. And he's going to go down again. Trent Murphy, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
That's going to be caught. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Garoppolo to throw for it on 4th. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Gold to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A 10-play drive that time, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. Quan Alexander able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Third down, here's Haskins. And he finds McLaurin. With a quick slant, good for 8 and a first. Big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for San Francisco, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Washington, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give a better chance to lead the team to wins.
The starters now on offense, and Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries, but boy, has he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
Looking to throw on second down. Lawrence throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's third down. A look now at the starters on this 49er defense. They played really well in the win last week over the Redskins.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Nick Bosa drops it for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
Not sure what you thought, but I thought it was appropriate when he walked into our meeting with his arm totally encased in ice, because he threw 5 touchdown passes last week and won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award.
Yeah, but reading the paper this morning, and he said, gosh, I actually thought I should have got 6 or 7. But still, it was an amazing performance a week ago.
Boy, I'll tell you what, if he thought he should have had 6 or 7, that's a guy that's an absolute perfectionist, not just greedy.
A check on Breida's numbers from last week. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. Sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 27. Here's Garoppolo to throw. He's going to take a shot from the end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. To throw is Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 15-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 11 more on that one and another first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that could be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Trying to run with Madison, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
11.
Garoppolo looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he will find his receiver, Pettis, for a 49ers touchdown. Dante Pettis with touchdown number 7 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Gold with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. That time, a 9-play drive. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, That's what all the guys are looking for.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Here we go, here we go. 10-2 stop. Right 54. Hey, 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 hey. Yeah.
To throw on 2nd down. Lawrence setting up the screen for Cook. And some room to work. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That one a gain of 20 in the 1st down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of the 1st after a gain of about 9. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, it's Cook, and he'll get it down to the 47 here. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 47. Off the play fake, Lawrence. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to swing the tight end free downfield for the completion.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down. After 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Go now. 8, read. 54, Mike. You must be. Let's go.
Throwing on 1st down, Lawrence. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. D Ford in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. On the carry, it's Cook. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. 4th down now as San Fran's defense was strong in coverage.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. The kick by Joseph is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Following the field goal on is Locke Edwards to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. There's Dante Pettis as his guys head back out onto the field. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
On 2nd and 11 now. Garoppolo. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Pettis once again the target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Garoppolo looks to throw. He's going to walk one deep left side here. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the 1st down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Got a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't pull up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
2nd and 6. Johnson's got it complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Would have put him in the lead, but hold that thought.
Yeah, the celebration had to stop, didn't it? Because now you're on a real uptick. You're in the lead. Instead, you're still behind. Have to find a way to regroup.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Off play action. Lawrence. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long.
That's what I do.
From the gun, Lawrence. This pass complete to Reynolds. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Nick Bosa able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think There's still a long way to go in this football game. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Now Gold for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it's struggle.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. I call it no gain there on the first down play. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Looking to throw. Lawrence. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped and that can turn to either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. They throw again on second down. This one's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. From the 32 now, here's first and 10. From the gun, Lawrence. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. This quarterback now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's first and 10. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you get your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Following the field goal on his Lock Edwards to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey. And in the second quarter, it is the Eagles who are out in front. The Eagles trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, we head up to Foxborough to check on the Patriots at home at Gillette Stadium. And you can see there, it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. Devin Funchess, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Josh Allen has thrown 2 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. This fielded at the 2. Able to power through. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, 49ers. That kick return TD is 98 yards in length. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. but I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. What an explosive kickoff return from the 2 all the way to the end zone. A 98-yard return for 6. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. This is This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. And the Niners get there and bring him down. D Ford able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more than he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Lawrence lets it fly for Thielen. He's got him in, complete. The 30, 10, 5, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 83 yards, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. So a nice touchdown pass for the rookie there. And, you know, as they go down the stretch, look, they're not a playoff team. This is just confidence building and growth time for him, right?
Yeah, it's a game within the game, isn't it? Because every team wants to win all games on their schedule. But the development of this rookie quarterback is paramount for this team. So you're exactly right. Every rep, doesn't matter what the game, what the situation, what the score, valuable for him, valuable for his team as they look towards next year.
Extra point right down the middle, and that'll cut the lead to 21-17. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And Sanders has got it complete. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. This is Breda. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers.
That was a nicely run slant route. And what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've They've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in, and he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. That's into the hands of Reynolds. And some room to run now. That's good for 28 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. A gain there of 30 big ones.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Mike Zimmer's made the decision. His guys will go for 2. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
They made the decision to go for 2. They didn't get it. They remained down by 2 points. Should they have kicked it there?
A third quarter, I'm okay with it. Maybe first or second, you don't? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I keep coming back to, I don't like to chase a lot of points.
Yeah.
But I also don't know what kicking an extra point being down 1 does for me.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A gain of 13, it's a first down. Garoppolo now, 6 for 6, and coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. He's going to loft one, deep left side. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, 49ers. Dante Pettis, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Gold to add the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
On 1st and 10, Lawrence. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. Past the 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. As they have now chopped this lead down to 3.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
The extra point up and good. And the lead is down to 2. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. 1 play, a long touchdown pass into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Set to take over again here on offense, Jimmy G and the 49ers. And you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. Garoppolo to try and get on 2nd down. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. A 2nd down completion got him 7. And here's 3rd and 3. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught at the 10. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Now goal for the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Well, it really has, especially as of late. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks. And they know the defense doesn't want to give those up. They've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, Lawrence. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away.
Yeah, think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Running from the shotgun with Madison. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Back to the air on 2nd. It's Garoppolo. Flush to his right. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
Now that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking on play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
2nd, 3rd levels, you can see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Now Garoppolo eluding the pressure right. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not down in the 4th. They start the drive with Cook, and not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lawrence, that's taken in, complete to Reynolds. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. In a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this is caught down for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Solid response that time by a young quarterback. Last drive interception, this drive the touchdown pass.
I like how you described it, solid, because you don't get extra kudos for bouncing back if you're going to be a big-time quarterback. You're supposed to do that. But at the same time, when you're a rookie, that's not guaranteed, is it? Sometimes they hang their heads and they go in the tank a little bit. Not in this case. Bounce back, took his team downfield, and threw a touchdown pass.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And the lead is down to 2. The drive drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Garoppolo to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Garoppolo looking to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation there. The defense won the battle. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ballgame. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage to 37 on 1st and 10. And they'll take a knee as the clock ticks down toward 50 seconds to go.
We got 4.
Down to a knee goes Garoppolo, and that ought to do it. So the victory here for San Francisco, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Niners, the final 2 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9-5 with a win. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.